Welcome, everybody. This is Emma and Dad,
Navigating Life,
produced by,
Winstell Productions.
and today we're going to talk about a couple different things. I think the two primary things we're going to talk about are Dylan and going into the Army. And then we're going to have a pretty big discussion on
Global warming / climate change
/ is it human caused or not?
Yes, debate.
Yeah, I think we agree more than we disagree. So there'll be less debate and more discussion.
Well, we're debating people who don't think like us.
The stupid people.
Yeah.
Because everybody who doesn't think like us is stupid.
Stupid.
We're stupid.
Us versus the stupid people.
Yep.
When we first started out, I was holding the knife and I was like practicing. I was like, I'm going to cut off my ear. And he was laughing.
That's like, remember the time we went bowling? I can't remember where it was. Maybe you weren't even born yet. It might have been at Shaw. But I went to throw the ball and I threw it off the back of my right leg. That
like
hurt.
You hit your leg?
Yeah. Well, you know, when you bring your arm back and you go to throw the ball, I threw it into the back of my leg.
Well, one time when I went bowling, I accidentally threw it backwards.
What, you let go in the backswing?
Yeah, it was like, Wii bowling.
Yeah.
Where they throw it backwards and they're like, woo!
It wasn't real bowling then?
No, it was. But I was like picturing like Wii bowling when they throw it backwards and the little Miis are all like jump and they're all like, woo!
Oh, I see.
When you throw the bowling ball backwards.
Yep. And Kaylee did okay?
Yeah, we all did well.
Oh, good.
It was fun. And then we went to Chick-fil-A after.
Oh, you ate?
And we sat down and ate together.
Oh, good. Did he talk about anything? Did you ask him about the Army?
Yeah.
Would he say anything?
Yeah, he said a lot.
So just so our millions and millions of viewers know what's going on, Dylan leaves for the Army in a week. So would you ask him?
The 27th.
So he leaves the house on the 26th, the Monday, and then they keep him overnight somewhere, I think up at Fort Meade.
Yeah.
And then he enlists the next day and he's off.
He said it's like right outside of Fort Meade.
Yeah, they put him at a hotel right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I asked him if he was excited. He said, well, yeah.
Oh, good. What else?
And I asked why he chose Kentucky, and he said because it was the best base. And I was asking if like he knew what his everyday kind of work was going to look like. And he said he's going to be shooting cannons.
His everyday work won't be shooting cannons. It will be...
Well, he said he'll be in the field.
Yeah, but his everyday work is going to be cleaning up stuff, maintaining. They might put him on security patrol. He's going to be doing everything other than shooting guns, which he doesn't understand yet. Yeah, cannons, which he doesn't understand, but I'm okay with that.
Well, he'll find out real quick.
He will.
What else did we ask him? Oh, Kaylee asked if he was like scared to get deployed, and he said no. He was like, no, why would I be scared to get deployed? And I guess and he was saying that like he wants to move around, like traveling is part of the job.
Okay.
And I think Kaylee was asking if he was scared to go to basic training or any part of it.
Yeah.
And he said no. And I said, have you been? Oh, I think I asked, have you been training? I don't know if I don't forget what he said, but he said the physical thing is going to be easy, like the tests.
Yeah.
But he seems excited.
Yeah, it's exciting. I hope he is excited.
Yeah. Well, he said he was excited, so.
Yeah, I don't think he would have said it if he wasn't.
Yeah.
He just would have said, oh.
Yeah. Well, he said, well, yeah.
Okay, right. So that means, yeah, I'm very, very excited.
Yeah.
I wonder, he can do a physical fitness test before he goes to give him an extra stripe, an extra rank when he goes in
He was telling us about that. He said that's going to be the hardest thing.
the run.
He said that's going to be harder than basic, he thinks.
It's because of the 2 mile run.
Yeah.
He's got to do it in like 8:30-minute miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, 8:15 miles.
When is he doing that? Oh, on Tuesday?
Sometime before he goes.
I think
So
he said
probably
Monday
next
or
week.
Tuesday.
Probably next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hard.
I told him, you do everything you can to pass that run. I don't care what it takes. You give it all you got. Because to go in with an extra rank is really, really important. It's more money. It's faster towards promotion.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he'll probably get treated a little better.
No.
Oh.
No.
I thought the higher rank you are going in.
Not as an E2. As an E5, that's where you become a sergeant, a non-commissioned officer, and that's when you start getting a little more treated a little bit better with a little more respect.
Oh.
But E4 and below. Good times. Good times. I'm excited. I don't wish. But I kind of sometimes wish I could go back and do it again.
Why?
I don't know, because it's exciting.
Oh, yeah. I have because I wanted to join the Air Force for a long time.
You talked
So
about
I would,
it.
yeah. Ever since I was at Monmouth, I wanted to join the military. But anyways, I would always imagine myself at basic training or
Oh.
because I would watch so many YouTube videos about the process and everything about people's experience there. And it was so exciting feeling to imagine that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. To imagine it? Yeah, super exciting. I was
Yeah.
scared shitless before I went because I didn't know what to expect. And I just heard, of course, you hear basic training, you think bad things.
And you didn't have YouTube to look up people's experiences or anything.
Nope.
So you
So
had
all
no
I
clue
knew-
what to expect.
All I knew is what people told me, and I heard mostly bad. But then the guy who got me to join the Air Force said it's not that bad. You can handle it. And he was right.
Oh, and we talked about how Dylan was saying how he has to shave his head.
Well, get a buzz cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd he say?
I think Haley said, do they still have to shave your head? And he was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And we were laughing about it. Well, I was laughing. And I was just saying that's so funny. And I saw these bald little boys. And Kaylee was like, I wonder why. And she's like, do you think it's for uniformity? And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I think that is
Yeah.
why.
That's why they make you dress the same. They make you act the same. They make you do everything the same. They make you look the same. It's all for discipline.
Except for girls now, they can wear ponytails, they can wear braids.
Yeah, but it's still within a certain standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome that you can wear a ponytail.
It's better for them. I don't like it. I don't like any of these things where they're they're relaxing the hair standards, they're relaxing the tattoo standards, because we've talked about this in a previous video where everybody feels like they should be treated special, so they're all unicorns, and now you got a bunch of unicorns running around instead of one team.
Yeah, but one thing I do agree with is black girls' hair, it's curly. Now they're able to wear it natural. Where before it was hard for some of them to put it in a bun or whatever.
They didn't have to. They could keep it short. You don't have to grow your hair out. The military doesn't have to let you grow your hair out.
Yeah, but I don't know. I saw this video of this girl talking about it. It's better for them now.
I get it. It's easier, and it's easier to have it a more natural way.
What's the word? They're incorporating things to
cultural things.
Yeah, exactly. Which I think that's important.
Yeah, I think to some degree it is. I think now it is because they're having such a hard time recruiting. They got to let people get away with more stuff. but it gets us further away from team discipline, and it also gets us further away from safety. So the reason that women weren't allowed to wear ponytails is because it could catch on something, or if their hair is long and it's outside of their gas mask, it won't seal and then they die. Or for something, it's most of it was for safety reasons. The second priority is for team discipline, and now it's because they want to let people be unicorns. But this isn't just a current recent thing. This has always been going on, right?
Well,
every generation of people, they've relaxed the standard in a certain way to kind of be with society,
which I think is great. Like tattoos, like I think that they should be more lenient on that, because tattoos are so like common now and so normalized now. And when they're in uniform, as long as there's no tattoo showing, I don't see why that would be a problem.
Well, the problem is one of the uniforms that the military has are short sleeve uniforms. And almost everybody is trying to show off. And so nobody's getting concealed tattoos. They're all getting tattoos in places that you can see them because they're trying to show off.
What about like a beautiful girl? She's going to stand out. She can't help that.
That's natural. That's not artificial.
Well, I'm just saying, like, there's always going to be reasons why people stand out.
The recruiting was fantastic right now. And then they would not relax the standards for anybody. They're kind of, I know for sure. Why would they? If they've got standards that ensure maximum safety and maximum discipline and maximum team morale, why would you mess with that? The only reason you mess with it is to make sure you have enough people coming in.
Yeah, I guess so. But also, as more things happen, like, for instance, like transgender people, that's a new thing for the military to deal with.
Yeah.
To accommodate.
Yeah.
So.
What's your point?
I think there's some things that change because not just because of recruiting, but because of the times are changing.
If the military had a pool of endless non-transgender people, the only reason they would change it is because politicians make them change the rule about transgenders coming in.
Oh.
And it's because, and this is the same, we're going to talk about global warming. It's the same with global warming. It's a very political issue. And sometimes, so for the military, sometimes they have to do things they don't want to do because the politicians have told them. Because who does the military work for?
The government.
The government. And who runs the government?
The president.
Well, elected officials. You're right, but elected officials. So Senate, Congress, Senate, House of Representatives, the president, all the elected officials. And they're trying to stay in office and they're trying to get votes. If letting transgender people in the military get some votes, guess what? The military is going to start doing. They're going to start letting transgender people in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense within our system. Sure. It's like climate change. There's a lot of deniers out there that humans are causing climate change. Even though science is squarely, there's no refuting any of the science, the overwhelming amount of evidence out there that humans are causing global warming and climate change. But people are going to deny it.
It makes me so mad.
Well, why?
It makes me actually furious.
Why are people denying it?
I know people personally who deny it.
But why? Why? What are they saying?
I don't know. They don't really have like a real reason. It's just like, it's just like the government, like they want to control us. Like,
okay, so they don't trust the government. There's one reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear I'm talking like a guy right now because all I've heard this from is from guys.
Yeah. Well, I'm just interested in, so why are people denying it? One is they don't trust the government. What's another reason they might deny it?
Maybe because it doesn't directly affect them right now.
But I guess why take a position on it either way if it doesn't affect you?
Political views.
Okay.
They're siding with what their political views think.
Yeah. Okay, that's another reason.
And say, social media probably has something to do with it.
Right, but I see it on social media, but I don't believe what when the people say that on social media. I don't believe it. So I'm just curious what are the reasons that some people are saying they're denying it, right? Like,
Well, from the people I've heard it from, they're very um political.
yeah, so they're like pro-Trump or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So for political reasons, there's very stupid people out there. That's, to me, that's
Just it,
yep.
ignorance.
Yeah, there's ignorance. There's also stupid. They're intellectually unable to process any of this. There's people that don't know how to analyze information. They either don't know how to analyze it or they're too lazy to analyze information. Right. There's lots of different reasons. I'm just curious.
Lack of education on the topic. So
Yeah.
ignorance, basically.
Right. And so I also lump that under they're unable to analyze information because they just don't know how.
Or they have like not bias. I guess it is bias. There's a different word I'm looking for.
Are you talking about confirmation bias, where people only listen to things that they believe in? So if I'm a Republican conservative,
I've heard of that. I learned about that. Yeah.
So if I'm a conservative Republican and I only watch Fox News, I'm only going to listen to Fox News because I have the same beliefs.
Yes. And
so I'm only going to listen to them because we have the same belief.
Yeah, and people follow like only conservative Twitter accounts, only, like just all that kind of stuff. So
that's confirmation bias. Yep.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we all do it both ways.
Yeah. To some degree.
Any other reasons that people are saying they're denying believing that humans cause climate change?
Maybe they're just in denial. Maybe they don't want to think that we're the problem.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Maybe legitimately people think there's another cause.
Yeah.
But just like we started, there's no way you can deny that humans are causing climate change because of the scientific evidence.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming.
All I can think about when I think of global warming is this documentary I watched on Netflix about the coral reefs. Yeah. And I cried during that. It made me so sad. It was so heartbreaking to see.
Yeah.
And like they had people what's the one in Australia? What's it? Like the biggest coral reef? Yeah,
the Great Barrier Reef.
Is that what it's called?
It's called the Great Barrier Reef. Google it.
Yeah, whatever that is. They had scientists there like over a span of a few months or whatever recording at certain spots in the reef. And it was just so sad watching everything die, like right in front of their eyes. And they were really sad. And it was so sad seeing them, how sad they were and how heartbroken they were.
I've seen a graph that shows, so the deniers also say, hey, you know, the world or the globe has gone through periods of warming and cooling and warming and cooling. And I've seen a graph that goes up and down through history. It goes up and down like that. And then when the Industrial Revolution hit in like the mid 19th century, there's a big spike like this. And it just keeps going up. It's literally just little waves through history that go up and down on a graph. Then all of a sudden, boop, it goes like that around the mid 19th century.
I've heard that too. Like, oh, like the Earth has always gone up like a degree or two in temperature or whatever. I honestly, if I'm being honest, I don't like, I'm not that educated on the subject. I haven't read that much into it. I just know like the basics. But I mean, look at all that's happening.
Yeah.
Like 90 whatever percent of our reefs are dead.
Right.
And there's no way that they're gonna come back alive. Like,
well, we don't know that part, but
well, the stuff that's died obviously is what I mean.
Nobody's denying that things are happening on both sides. Deniers or people that accept. We're just talking about is it human caused or not?
Yeah.
And so people sorry, let me make sure my volume's good. And so we're talking about the deniers, the ones why they're saying no. And it's just there's just no way of refuting the amount of evidence out there. Because they could say, yeah, because the world, like I said, has gone through cycles of warming and cooling, but we're in a totally unprecedented era. And they can look at even geology alone. They can do soil samples and see over time how things have changed and what's natural and what isn't. And
Yeah. I think a lot of it is just lack of education on like why it continues to be such an upward trend. Because like in my environmental, I'm taking an environmental sustainability class right now for psychology. Um, it's like a special topic, so it's just kind of like an
anyway, Emma.
elective for psychology. Anyways, um, and we're learning how people just like don't know what they can do to help. Like they don't even know the ways they can help.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Yeah, it's because our government isn't doing a good job of totally just, you know, the deniers are getting in the way. They've made it political. They've made a divide. And it's hard for the government to have consensus on this. If they had consensus on this, it'd be like seatbelts. You know, seatbelts weren't always, it wasn't always illegal not to wear a seatbelt.
Yeah.
But once the insurance companies and the government got on the same side, then it became a thing.
Yeah. And like it is good that now there's, electrical cars and all that. That's
Although
like
they're
good.
just as harmful to the environment as gasoline cars when you count manufacturing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're actually, yeah, they're just as harmful. There's no savings to the environment with electric cars. The only real savings is that the more we make them, the better our technology will eventually get. But right now, electric cars don't save any more on the environment.
Hmm. Well, at school, apparently my professor told us that our our school gives us discount if we have a certain type of car for
Yeah.
parking,
Yep.
like I guess low mileage. Um, what's the word for that?
Um,
Like the
um,
miles per, I don't know.
miles per gallon.
Yeah,
So if you have a hybrid,
yeah.
yeah,
But my teacher was saying how his is a 2014 and they only discount 2015 and up. So he's
he's,
so mad.
he's all angry.
Yeah.
So there's these things that the governments have that they're trying to institute for everybody. Every country is greenhouse credits. I don't know if you've heard of this yet, and you might go over it in your class, but essentially, if a country reduces their pollution or only produces a certain amount of pollution, they get credits. And
What?
so if a country, so they have to pay money essentially, but the less pollution they produce, the less money they have to pay. And so a country
Oh.
that produces a lot of greenhouse gases, they can buy credits so that they don't get fined as much,
Oh.
right? So let's say, I'm just going to make up a standard. Let's say whatever, it's not NATO, the UN, I think it's the United Nations. They tell all their member countries, hey, you can't produce more than 100 bubbles of poisonous gas. And if the America says, I want to produce 110 bubbles of poisonous gas, then they can buy credits to buy down their fines.
Who are they paying?
Probably, I think it's the United Nations.
Hmm.
So the United Nations, if you don't know, is kind of a global committee of
Yeah.
countries that have said, hey, we're gonna support this organization
Yeah.
so we can make rules that are kind of common across the world. Yeah.
That's interesting.
But again, it's very political. Like Trump said, we're out. So when he was in office, he said, we're not doing this anymore.
Why?
He's a jackass.
So we're not part of the United Nations anymore?
No, the greenhouse credit thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, he said we're not doing that crap. It's because, so here's the other reason we didn't talk about big oil companies, investors, and politicians who are being given money by these people are also denying it because they don't want people to stop buying gasoline cars
Yeah.
and all, producing plastics, all this stuff.
Yeah, and one of the things we talk about is how like the depletion of resources. You're supposed to have like a 1-to-1 ratio of what you deplete and what's like
Oh.
restored.
Yeah.
Ours is 100-to-1 ratio right now.
We're depleting. Yeah.
Yeah, 100-to-1.
Yeah. So, yeah. I'm also I'm also a firm believer in that we will figure out as we move along, as we evolve, we'll figure out ways to either counteract this or to make up for it. We'll figure out technology. And you know what's going to do it, I think, is artificial intelligence.
How is that gonna fix all that's been done?
We don't know. That's the beauty of evolution, of our intellectual and technological evolution, is that we always invent something. We're very good at inventing.
Yeah.
And artificial intelligence will be a game changer for us in terms of thinking about things we can't even think about right now.
I sure hope something happens.
Yeah, if it doesn't, then we're screwed.
Completely.
And some people think, oh, we'll just go to Mars. We'll colonize Mars. So we'll have a new planet. These people have they not seen Mars? Even if you
Have
build,
fun on Mars.
yep. Even if you build a big friggin' bubble there, it takes resources and it takes technology, and you can't build a bubble big enough for billions of people. So it's way far in the future, in other words.
Yeah, I remember when that thing came, when like that first came out, where people were hearing about, oh, we can move to Mars,
Yeah.
and how big that was.
Well, it's actually a good goal, I guess.
It's insane to me.
If the human race doesn't become extinct, there's absolutely every reason to believe we'll colonize out in space. I don't know why we wouldn't be able to do it. I mean, we always think of stuff.
It's just sad to think about.
Yeah.
We're really killing our planet.
Yeah, we're killing our planet and we don't really care too much about it. It seems like we don't care.
Not enough, at least.
No.
I wonder how other countries compare to us.
In terms
And,
of killing the planet?
like, yeah, in terms of pollution and
Oh, there's way worse. There's also way better.
yeah.
You
I
gotta
bet
remember,
Europe is better.
we're a very big economy. We're like this first or second largest economy in the world. So, of course, we're going to produce things that are very wasteful. And when you're a very rich economy, like we're very rich, you want things, right? You want your fancy phone or your fancy computer, or you want your nice car. And a lot of people want that stuff.
We talked about e-waste. Do you know about that?
Yeah. Yep.
And how there's places that give, like, I guess, incentives for
For what, Emma?
I can't think, for like participating in e-waste.
Oh, recycling?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
turning in your electronics, like companies, like for instance Dell, I don't know if they actually do this, but giving an incentive for turning in older laptops or whatever.
Yeah. Apple does it. Like if you buy a phone and you turn in a phone that qualifies, and they'll give you a discount.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
You ever seen the junkyards in Africa?
We literally just watched a video on this in my class.
Isn't it crazy?
It is crazy. There's like kids in there like mining for gold.
Right. They're mining for those precious metals that are in the
I know
phones.
that's how they make their money.
Yeah.
That's how they survive.
So when you talk about depleting our resources, that's one of the ways we don't deplete our resources is countries in Africa who have billions and trillions of these devices. They go through and they pull out all the good parts.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy to see that.
It is crazy. All right, we're going to cut that off here. This has been Emma and Dad Navigating Life, produced by
Winstyle Productions.
We'll see you next time.
Follow us on TikTok at Winstyle Productions. Follow us on Instagram at Winstyle Productions. And subscribe to us on YouTube at Winstyle Productions. You can see full-length videos on YouTube. Bye, everyone.